welcome back to Satisfactory. We've already done so much, we're getting to the end. Today we're gonna unlock Mark 6 belt, we're gonna be able to transport 1200 per minute on the belt, that's pretty crazy, and we're gonna do a lot more than this. So let's dive right in. As always, I have on the side sort of a bit of my to-do. To be honest, not too sure if we're gonna be able to do all of this into this episode, or if maybe, it's gonna stop somewhere over here. We'll see. But what's for sure is we're gonna start by doing another milestone. In the previous episode, don't hesitate to check in the video description below if you want to see it. We did the first tier 9 milestone, matter conversion. We started to have fixed site, ingot and trigon, making some diamonds and time crystals. That was pretty cool. But now today we want to move into first peak efficiency, which will unlock Mark 6 belt and conveyor and lift, which will also unlock Fixonium, both the actual Fixonium and the Fixonium fuel rod, which is going to be required to transform our plutonium waste into something useful. But I'm not sure we're going to be able to do it right away. Now this one costs a lot. The 250 time crystal, 250 fixed site trigon, so it's a good thing we've automated both of these, but more importantly 5,000 alclad aluminum sheet and 10,000 iron plates. So I had to empty the warehouse, let's say, to be able to do it. So let's unlock it and see what Ada says.
Milestone reached. After close scrutiny, 2 problems were identified in Mark 5 conveyor belts. The first was the belt part, so force fields have been implemented in the Mark 6 instead, to maximize transfer speeds. The second problem is inefficient pioneers, but sadly no remedy is available for this severe impediment.
That was a short one. I'm definitely not inefficient, so I didn't take that personally, it's fine. Later on in the episode, I think we're also going to do quantum encoding, because we have those resources, we can select the milestone. I have, enough trigon. Oh no, we need to wait 10 minutes, sorry. So that makes sense, we'll wait 10 minutes. So yeah, we have unlocked, the Mark 6 belt. We're going to use them in a couple of things. But while we're here, let me actually show you the Fixonium. So let's go Fixonium over here. This is how we're going to be able to transform our plutonium waste into something useful. And this is the only thing you can do with that, right? If you look at plutonium waste, there's nothing else you can do with it. The only thing you can do with it is to transform it into Fixonium. To be able to do this, though, you're going to need singularity cell and dark matter residue, both of which I don't have right now. So we're going to be a bit stuck. We can't do it. I can still show you that, yeah, this will transform, your waste into Fixonium, and then you're going to take your Fixonium and make Fixonium fuel rod that you can either put into another power station, power plant, right, to make even more electricity. And the cool thing is that this one will not create any waste, or you can also just drop it into something, right? This will require things we actually already have, mostly like electromagnetic control rod, fixed site trigon, so that's easy. Just excited photonic matter we don't have yet, but don't worry, we're gonna unlock that soon. So anyway, yes, this is something we're going to want to do, but just not now. Let's go take advantage of our new Mark 6 belt to make some of our production even more efficient than before. We're going to use it in particular for our fixed site production. Again, if you watched the previous episode, we had those 2 Caterium miner that were pure that we are not using right now at 110 because it's 1200. We can also use it into the quartz factory that we made a while back, because that one is also pretty critical. I'll show you that in a sec. Here it is, I went to the end of the world over here where we have a Caterium miner, right, producing 1200, and I mentioned it before, but I only mentioned it because that's quite important. From the start, I managed to plan for this so that I don't have to upgrade the whole belt from here all the way to my base. We just have to upgrade this small piece here, just this piece that is before the smart splitter, because this way, right, this will go to Mark 6, first Mark 6 belt. Look at this. Ooh, looking good. So first Mark 6 belt, right? So we have 1200 here, and then we can split, right? We can say 600 basically, and then that's gonna go. None of these needs to change. It's really just the first one. So that's an easy upgrade, because otherwise that would have costed a lot of time, but also resources, right? I know it took me a bit more to build 2 of these before, but now it's very easy to upgrade, and everything at the end is also prepared. I just followed the belt all the way over here to reach the second miner, right? Also producing 1200, or trying to produce it, and we're not letting that miner produce. Such a shame. So let's do this. Again, it's a very small update, right? So that everything now will work at 100%. Now we could follow it back and go back to the beach and see that now instead of, what was it, 390 times 2, we will be producing the actual 1200, right? But actually there's another mine, I think just behind, right? It is basically over here, right? Those two raw quartz, we wanted to make sure they also work. Yeah, it's just inside this, right? We want to make sure those two also work at 100%. It's actually a very critical one because that is creating, remember, silica and quartz crystal that we are actively using. I mean, you can see this is moving through because we're actively using it. We're using it for crystal oscillators, for example, those type of things. So yeah, I'm keen to upgrade that one ASAP. Don't hesitate to tell me, if you disagree, if you feel my technique of having just those two belts at 600 is not what you would want to do or see, but yeah, we're gonna get there in a sec. Here it is, here are the two, and again that's gonna be a very small and quick upgrade. So here and there, and we're gonna be able to upgrade also the actual signage, right? So instead of 333 here we get 540. And on this one, we're gonna get the whole 600. So that's gonna be a big change for sure. And we should actually see it on the belt, right? Like you can see that the belts are getting a lot fuller now. So that's great. Perfect, here it is. Same on the other side, it's full. Okay, perfect. And we just need to also change those signs a bit further here into the factory. Here it is. Oh, no, sorry, my bad. There was also here, we needed to connect. Yes, yeah, we needed to connect this one small line here, and now all of these are gonna start. Perfect. That's gonna make us the full production on this side, right? 735s times 2. Perfect. Happy camper, right? So that's gonna go over here. I should have just copied the sign, but that's okay. It takes a second to do it. And we have the same on the other side for quartz crystal. Is actually even more important on this side, right? It used to not really be very full. Now we're gonna make sure that this gets a lot fuller. You can see it over here, right? This moves to 420. This moves to 467. And again, don't hesitate to check in the video description below if you want to see the previous episodes where I build those factories. The key thing is, yeah, we're getting to the target productions, right? All of the buildings, all of the factories, refineries, etc. Some of them used to be yellow. You can see it over here, for example, right? They will now be all green. So that's perfect. I'm gonna see it all. So it is now, all of these should really be 600, 600, 600. So all of these refineries should be able to work perfectly. They will all start to get green, right? As soon as we put the awesome sinks over there. Yes, instead of 390, this is now really 600 per minute for both of them. So let's copy, paste, let's connect the awesome sinks, and it is. Now they're gonna start working. Now they're not gonna all turn green right away because basically what's happening is that this is full, so it's gonna take a second for this one to really empty itself before some of the other ones get started, right? The belt here basically is completely full, but yeah, they will, take my word for it, please. These 100 refineries here, they will now start working at 100% all the time, which also does mean it's going to increase my consumption, but that's okay. That's okay. It also means these ones can always work at 100%, right? We have 10 of them, so 600, that's perfect. So that's good. That's good. This is sent, remember, to my hub, right, for production. And then, yeah, let's go back in this side here, where if you have a keen eye, you can see there is a new crazy bridge. We are bringing something new there, so let's see what it is. It is, this bridge is bringing a lot of time crystals. Because I'm following the advice I shared last time, is that you want to transform the resource that takes, the least per minute, right? So instead of transporting some more oil or some more diamonds, let's transport the final product as much as you can, right? Sometimes you don't really have a choice. For example, you need water, you need to bring the resource to the water. But in this case, it's just oil into diamond, diamond into time crystal, right? So what I've done is, look for the closest oil, which is somewhere, where is it? Where are you? Here. It's over here. This was a line that already existed because we're bringing the sand from here and from there. So there was already a belt here, right? And we had just next to it this crude oil node. So I'm now using it, most of it. We're producing 1,200 of crude oil to be precise, right? So that means we are producing, 240 of diamonds, and then transforming those 240 diamonds into 120 of the time crystal, right? Using the exact same recipes we used in the last episode. You put the oil directly into a particular accelerator to make the diamonds. Then we bring the diamonds, up into those converters, and those converters change them with a ratio of 2 to 1 into time crystals. So yeah, we've started, to bring 120 from this side. I put actually a sign, yes. And then we have also started, we're almost finished over here expanding this one so that it takes all of the diamonds from below, right? This was 1,800 of crude oil, right? So that means we get 360 of these diamonds here. We send them up in the back here, yeah, send them up. And with this, we're going to be able to do then 180 of time crystals, right? So in total, that's going to mean 300 time crystal. Or, by the way, the small amount, I see this one is not on. Sorry, my bad. Why are you not on? There it is. So for the small number of 50 converter, remember that one converter is 100 to 400 megawatts, right? So that's definitely quite a lot. But yeah, we have 50 of this converter. There's 20 that are, at the end of that production line, and then 30 here. So we've already put 10, 20, and we're starting the last line over here. We're going to put 10 more. They're all going to be merged onto this line here, right? The line of 300. So Mark 4, Mark 5 is totally not a problem. We're going to have a couple of deploy uploaders because remember, you need that resource for your Mark 6 belt, right? This is Trigons and Time Crystal. It's also needed for a couple of other productions, so that's why we have the dimensional depot uploader. I have a reserve here just in case, as always. And then we have a drone port, so we can be able to send it somewhere, wherever we need it, right? So let me just finish, this production here. And with this, we'll have made sure that we have what I call full production, which is, what do I need? How many diamonds, how many time crystal, how many fixed trigons do I think I need with peak efficiency? And then we can move into the next, right? Quantum encoding, so the next milestone over here, and start making some new production. Dark matter, normal and crystal, superposition oscillators, and neural quantum processors. Back at the hub, we can do quantum encoding now, with 50 of the storm crystal, 100 trigon, 200 of the turbo motors, and 400 of the supercomputers, so make sure you are making quite a bit of these. We can launch the pod and see what Ada is gonna say.
Milestone reached. This is not a competition, but other pioneers, such as 83CKY and U531355, had already completed project assembly by this point. Fixit was obviously wrong about you, but perhaps so was I. Regardless, you have finally unlocked the quantum encoder, which requires vast fluctuating power and excited photonic matter to produce highly complex parts. Do not make the same mistakes managing the resulting dark matter residue as you did other byproducts. Project part number 11, the AI expansion server, is now your highest priority. Galaxy-wide project management is taxing to even the most advanced among us, especially those who have to manage the less advanced. Like kittens and puppies, who are definitely still waiting for you to save them.
Thank you, Ada, but peer pressure is not gonna help. I'm not gonna be swayed by this. If I'm late compared to somebody else, it's just because I fell asleep at the wheel, don't worry. But yes, we have now done quantum encoding, and with this we have unlocked quite a lot of new things. As she mentioned, there is indeed a completely new production building, right? The quantum encoder. This is a big one. Let me show you. There it is. Let's take it to the sky. There it is. Huge building, and we're gonna build a couple of these. And in that we have a few different new production. The Fixonium we mentioned before, but it requires again things we don't have, so we're not gonna talk about this right now. We have the AI expansion server. It is indeed one of the next parts of the elevator. We're not gonna do that right away, but we have more importantly the superposition oscillator and neural quantum processor, but they require two things we don't have right now. Excited photonic matter and dark matter crystal. So that is indeed what we're gonna want to do. There is also for all of those production, you can see all of those production are creating dark matter residue as a byproduct. So like all byproducts, we're gonna need to do something with it, right? Dark matter crystal and dark matter residues are very linked. As you can see, for example, to make dark matter crystal, while there is 3 recipes, they all use dark matter residue. So to make dark matter crystal, we're going to need to talk about dark matter residue. And by the way, you may be wondering, why do we need dark matter crystal? I mean, I did show you that we're going to need it, for example, for the superposition oscillator over here, right? You need dark matter crystal, but you also need it for the singularity cell, which is going to be needed both for the Fixonium, but also for other things. in particular over here, the ballistic warp drive. We also need this dark matter crystal to make power shard on ongoing basis, not with slug, but in a factory. So we're going to need some dark matter crystal. And to make dark matter crystal, as I said, we're going to need dark matter residue. So let's check also for dark matter residue, how do you make it? Well, very interestingly, as I mentioned, there's many productions that create dark matter residue as a byproduct. You can see the first, the second, the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. All of these, they create dark matter residue as a byproduct. Right? There is only one recipe that creates it not as byproduct, but as the actual product. It is reanimated SAM. So this is why we do need a lot of reanimated SAM so we can create dark matter residue. And then in terms of the dark matter, as I just mentioned, we need it for the dark matter crystal, and we need it also for Fixonium. Right? So basically what I'm thinking is we're going to create dark matter residue out of reanimated SAM to kick off the system. And then this dark matter residue will be used to make dark matter crystal. With those crystals, we will make, more productions, and this will create some dark matter residue as byproduct, which we can either feed back into the system if that's easy, basically if it is close by, or if it's not close by, what we can do in this case, right, is to then make a bit more of dark matter crystal and just, put those dark matter crystal into an awesome sink. So we know we're going to need some more SAM to be able to do dark matter residue. So I've been bringing some more. Actually, I've been bringing a lot. If you look at the map over here, we used to bring these ones here. Now I've also brought all of these 5 here. So this is an impure, another impure, another impure here, another impure there, and this one is actually a pure. So with that, in total, this is a lot of SAM. And going back to the principle of you want to transport as least as possible, most of the time, I have actually transformed this SAM on site. On each of those sites, I've transformed it, with a couple of constructors into reanimated SAM, and we're transporting the reanimated SAM. To be precise, we are transporting on a Mark 5 belt over here. We're transporting 600 of these. And remember, we're talking about a multiplier of 4. To make one reanimated SAM, you need 4 SAM. So yeah, my 600 is talking about 2,400 of SAM. So this was definitely a lot. But yeah, we're bringing all of this here to my base. So if we, jump back down, you will see this SAM coming here, and you hopefully see a couple of new buildings here. I'm going to explain. We did also finish, all of these converters here to really transform all of my diamonds into time crystals. So time crystals, we're making a lot. I did create, remember, a couple of these storage. We have also a drone port, and we're going to send some time crystal on this one here. This is why I'm making all of this here, is because this is using time crystal and reanimated SAM. So how does that work? Well, basically, we have a few more converters. To be precise, we have 6 converters that are going to take reanimated SAM, 50 each, to make 100, so it's doubling of dark matter residue. The last one is actually underclock at 50%, so this one is only making 50. So basically, we're bringing 600 of reanimated SAM, we're sending 275 that side into those converters. That means there is 325 that is remaining, which will go into the drone port. Similarly, for the time crystal, you may remember we are bringing, 300 in total? Yes, we're bringing 300 in total. We're going to send 110 this side, and the rest will go all on that side. Right? So yeah, we're making this dark matter, and as I said before, this is not a liquid, this is not a gas, this is something new, but it basically goes into a pipe. Right? This is here. I don't actually know, to be honest, I didn't check if you need an head lift or not, but I don't have any head lift that is needed. It's all on the same place. And as I said, we're taking 110 of this one, taking 550 of this, and this is now going to go into 4 of this particular accelerator. One is slightly underclock, I'll show you in a second, with the standard of, not standard, with the alternate recipe of transforming dark matter and time crystal into the dark matter crystal. The reason I'm using this is using less dark matter residue than the normal recipe. Right? This recipe over here is taking 150, but to make 30, this alternate recipe is taking the exact same amount, 150, but to make 60. So that means I will need a lot less SAM, and basically in terms of time crystal, it is exactly the same. You need the same amount of diamond at the end. So this was a better recipe in my opinion. The only thing is obviously you need to transform your diamond into time crystal, but anyway, that also simplifies for me because I know I need time crystal for other things. So yes, with this we're creating 60 dark matter crystals, so like 60 here, 60 there, 60 there, and this last one is actually only making 40. So that means we're making 220 in total, right? These 220 is merged here. and we'll go into this drone port. So we have actually 3 new drone ports, right? We have one here for dark matter crystal, we have one here for SAM reanimated, and we have one here for the time crystal. And I hope you understand now what we're going to do. We're going to send all of those resources back into our hub, right? So that we can start making new things like superposition oscillator. And in the next episode, also others like neural quantum processors, and also the next few ones. So back at the hub, we have a couple of new drone ports, right? Bringing the time crystal, those dark matter crystals, those dark matter crystals, yes, the reanimated SAM, and last but not least, I've added one more, which is the alclad aluminum sheet. We have actually made a completely new production. I'm not going to show it to you because it's pretty standard. We've done that a couple of times, but you can see it over here. We have some bauxite. We had tons of coal over here that we are already bringing there. And the last thing we need for alclad is also some copper, which is coming from here. Again, bringing all of this here, and yeah, here it is. Basically, the factory is there. So what's happening again, very classic, is we're taking bauxite, we're taking water to transform into alumina solution. Then with some coal and alumina solution, we're making scrap, right? And then we're transforming the scrap into ingots with the alternate recipe, so we don't have to use silica. So it's a bit less efficient, but this way you don't have to use silica. And we're still making tons of it, don't worry, because this is a pure node, so 1200, right? And basically making a lot again of ingots, right? Aluminum ingots, and then you take copper ingots and you can make alclad aluminum sheet. And then we have this drone port, right? And we're sending it over here. And so we're gonna bring all of this into our first production of this new building, the quantum encoder. That's a huge one, right? Huge building, goes from here all the way there. You can see, and let me compare to one constructor. So this is the size of the constructor. I don't know, you can put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 constructors basically for one of these in terms of length, and probably at least, what is it, 3 for the width. And yeah, we're gonna need 4 inputs in this one. Dark matter crystal, crystal oscillators, the alclad aluminum sheet I just mentioned, and a new thing, excited photonic matter. So dark matter crystal, you know, that's easy, that's coming from here, goes directly at that level 3. The crystal oscillators, you know, we were already bringing one of these over here from our factory that is, where is it? Somewhere over here, right? It's this one here, right? This is the factory here where we're making 50 crystal oscillators. We were using 30, so we have 20 left, which is exactly what we need over here, because we need 5 for each and we have 4. It's almost as if I prepared it. So that's the first 2 are already connected, right? The alclad aluminum sheet that I just mentioned, we're bringing here, we're gonna connect to that top level there. So let me just fix that quickly. We're going to basically run it like that. And here, oops, what did I do? Let's check that. Oh no, I just put it on the wrong one, I think. All right, so let's go. Yeah, it is. We need a small elevator to go here or to go there, and then we just need to connect that. Now this is Mark 5. You don't need Mark 5. I'm going to show you the numbers in a second, but this way, yeah, this is going to get started. The only one missing was the excited photonic matter. It's again not a gas, not a liquid, but it does go into this pipeline, right? And it is produced in the converter. And this is, I think, one of the few productions in the whole game that is produced out of nowhere. You just need a converter and some electricity, and you will create this excited photonic matter that, again, I'm just delivering directly. Basically, this is underclocked to produce 125 instead of 200, because this is exactly what we need here. And it is, you can see it, it's starting the first one here. Let's give it a second, check it together. It is starting. Ooh. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And it's gonna have 2 inputs, as you can see, by the way. We're gonna need to talk about that in a second. But yeah, they're all starting, and by the way, they're all at 100%. My goal is to make 20 of those superposition oscillators. And yeah, it is. I mean, that's the animation. That is, as I said, going to create a couple of superposition oscillators, 5 per minute, and 125 dark matter residue. So that means in total that we're going to create 500. So that works in a belt Mark II, but we're going to need to do something with it, right? And this is where we go back to what I mentioned earlier in the episode. We're going to use, I think, a converter, if I'm not mistaken. No, that's not a converter. Sorry. It must be a particle accelerator then. Let's give it a second. It is this one here. So this one is going to use 200 of this dark matter residue to just make dark matter crystal. And then I guess I could also resend those dark matter crystal into into this, so that it use it's using less, or I guess I could also use them for something else, or I could just drop them, right? Again, the only thing needed is the dark matter residue, so that's easy. I can just make it next door, right? I think I'm just gonna leave a bit of space so that we can have also this output of the superposition oscillators, right, coming out. And yeah, we said, you know, this is making 500, so we're gonna need either 3 of these or 2 with 1 overclock, or maybe even 1 completely overclock. Let me check. Which is not great, by the way, for your electricity, remember, but it could be good for space. So how much is that? This is 500. This is exactly what we want. Love it. Love it. And by the way, this is making 50 dark crystal. 50 is not that much because we need definitely more, right? We need 120, but it's better than nothing, right? In terms of the crystal oscillators, I just said we need 20 in total. The alclad, we need 180, right? And that's going to make us 20. So it is, ladies and gents, I think that was a really good episode. We started, we unlocked Mark 6 belt and we started using them. We increased our production of diamonds, of time crystal and fixed ingots and trigons. Then we unlock, you know, another new thing, the quantum encoding that gave us access to dark matter residue, dark matter crystal. We started making a lot of them. And now we just made some superposition oscillators. With those superposition oscillators, we will be able to unlock the next milestone, right? Spatial energy regulation, because that will give us access to a lot of new cool stuff, including really being able to do fixonium. This will also give us access to the next production, which I always forget where it is. Let me just check. Neural quantum processors. This is in the quantum encoder, so same as this one. It will take, no wait, what am I looking at? Oh, it doesn't actually take, sorry, my bad. I thought it was using superposition oscillators, but no, it is not. It is not, and I don't even have space to show you that production. Let's go over here. So yeah, we're gonna be able to do that also in the next episode. Taking some time crystal, we have that. Computers, we have this. Fixed trigon, we have that. And excited photonic matter, we just saw, you know, it's pretty easy to make. So yeah, we're gonna be able to make also neural quantum processor in the next episode. So I think the next episode will be this, and will be also fixonium, so we can start treating our plutonium. So I can really start having more plutonium, you know, being used. And with this, we'll be basically ready for the final stage, which will be to create a phase 5 elevator products. I hope you're excited. Smash like button, and I hope to see you next time.